another video for King's War, and this time we are looking at the Herd, or I might sometimes call it. It depends on how I'm feeling, because I have built an army for this using a lot of different races, essentially like little lizard people, rat people, hobgoblin-y, orky sort of creatures, among many others. So that's why I refer to it as the, because that's how I feel it is. Now, the Herd is a part of the Green Ladies forces. You've got the Sylviankin, or Sylvankin. You've got the Forces of Nature, and then you've got the Herd. You could technically count the Trident Realms as well, though they are more for themselves. These are the more physical, I'd say, aspect, whereas you've got the Forces of Nature, which is more the spiritual aspect with all the elementals and whatnot, and then you got the Sylviankin, which is more the a mix of both, but these are I think more the pure physical sort of aspect, with beastmen and minotaurs and all those sort of creatures. Lots of other armies, well, lots of other games, should I say, usually use beastmen as an evil force. Take Warhammer, they have beastmen as a chaos force, whereas beastmen here is what you expect. Beastmen aren't evil as such, or in any sense. They're just doing what they need to do to protect their homeland and the natural balance, as it were. So if you're following along, you'll need to be on page 285 in the big rulebook, and in the Uncharted Empire 3rd edition book you'll need to be on page 68. They are a neutral force, and their army special upgrade is the Saber-toothed Hunting Cat. The unit gains Duelist, which isn't bad. It's more there for attacking other heroes, because only heroes will have this upgrade. It's a shame that there's not a unit-wide sort of upgrade, but there you go. So starting with the Infantry. The first one is the Tribal Warriors. Speed 6, melee 4+, defense 4+. Troop 10 attacks, nerve 911, 80 points. Regiment 12 attacks, nerve 1315, 120 points. Horde 25 attacks, nerve 2022, 200 points. They've got Pathfinder and Fury and Thunderous Charge 1. They're not a bad unit. They're fairly cheap. Obviously, if you come to Horde, they are slightly more, well, fairly more expensive, but better nerve and better attack, so you kind of expect it. They've got Thunderous Charge, which does help a fair bit. Speed 6, so they've got a charge range of 12 inch, which isn't bad. At a regiment's not bad. Attack's a bit low, yes, but it's kind of what you expect. 120 points for a regiment to them's not bad. I wouldn't take them as a troop. That's absolutely pointless. Next we have the Tribal Spears. Speed 6, melee 4+, defense 4+. Troop 10 attacks, nerve 911, 90 points. Regiment 15 attacks, nerve 1315, 135 points. Horde 30 attacks, nerve 2022, 225 points. They've got Pathfinder, Phalanx and Thunderous Charge 1. The only difference between the Tribal Warriors and the Tribal Spears is the Tribal Spears have got more attacks and they've got Phalanx, and they cost more points. Other than that, they're exactly the same. I'd go for the Tribal Spears over the Warriors, because of Phalanx really helps against stuff with Thunderous Charge and Cavalry and flying stuff, and the extra amount of attacks really can make a difference. 10 points more for a troop, 15 points more for a regiment, and 25 points more for a horde. I'd go for the Tribal Spears almost any day. Next we have the Spirit Walkers. Speed 6, melee 3+, defense 3+. Troop 12 attacks, nerve -11, 105 points. Regiment 15 attacks, nerve -15, 160 points. Horde 30 attacks, nerve -22, 265 points. They've got Pathfinder, Thunderous Charge 1 and Wild Charge D3. These are a pretty good infantry unit, even though they have a bit of a weak defence. Their nerve isn't bad either, and they're fearless, so they're not gonna stand there. They're always gonna keep moving unless they run off for being routed, obviously. Good attacks, hitting on 3s in melee, can't go wrong with that. They've got Wild Charge D3, so minimum charge range of 13, maximum charge range of 15, which is pretty decent. I won't go heavy on these because their low defense will really hurt them. Though maybe take 1, maybe 2 units of them. Don't go silly with them. Next we have the heavy infantry, starting with the Longhorns. Speed 6, melee 3+, defense 4+. Troop 15 attacks, nerve 10, 12, 135 points. Regiment 20 attacks, nerve 14, 16, 205 points. Crush strength 1, Pathfinder, Thunderous Charge 1. You can do an army out of these, and though it won't be cheap because 205 points for a regiment, always take them as a regiment, they are pretty good. Their defence is a bit low, granted, but they hit on 3s in close combat. They've got 20 attacks as a regiment. Nerve's not bad either. Crushing strength 1 and Thunderous Charge 1, which means they will hurt. Even against stuff that's defence 6, they will really hurt. Next we have the Harpies, which are irregular. Speed 10, melee 4+, defence 3+. Troop 8 attacks, nerve 9, 11, 90 points. They've got fly, nimble, pathfinder, vicious in melee. These are kind of like the gargoyles from the Abyssal Forces. Maybe an outflanking unit, but other than that, I honestly do not see the point of them. I mean, the gargoyles have got regeneration. These are a worse version of the gargoyles. So, absolutely not. No, absolutely not, no. So next we have Hunters of the Wild. Speed 5, melee 3+, defense 5+. Troop 12 attacks, nerve 10, 12, 105 points. Regiment 15 attacks, nerve 14, 16 to 100, and 60 points. They've got Pathfinder and Scout. They're not bad. Good melee stat, good defense. Attacks alright, I guess. Nerve isn't bad. They've got Pathfinder and Scout, which is helpful. They've got no crushing strength or thunderous charge, which is a downside considering a lot of units in this army do have thunderous charge. It's a shame, but they're better than Harpies. They are so much better than Harpies. Next we have the ranged infantry. There's only one. They are the Tribal Trackers. Speed 6, and they are regular, by the way. Speed 6, melee 5+, range 5+, defense 3+. Troop 8 attacks, nerve 9, 11, 90 points. Regiment 10 attacks, nerve 13, 15, 120 points. They've got Pathfinder, Scout and Thunderous Charge 1, and they've also got short bows, which are 18 inch range. I'd take them as a troop. Give you a bit of shooting at least. The nerve's better as a regiment, yeah, and they've got 2 more attacks, but only 2 more attacks, and it's an extra 30 points. No. Just keep them as a troop and maybe, hopefully, do like 3 or 4 wounds a turn if you're lucky. I won't go heavy on trappers. I don't think much about them, to be honest. At least they've got a shooter unit, but apart from that, Next we have the Cavalry, starting with the Wild Ger Panthers, and they are regular. Speed 10, melee 4+, defense 3+. Troop 6 attacks, nerve 9, 11, 85 points. Regiment 12 attacks, nerve 12, 14, 130 points. Nimble, Pathfinder, vicious in melee. They're a fast unit, good for outflanking. They're cheap as well. They've got that vicious in melee, which isn't bad either. I'd take them as a regiment, just take them as a troop with 6 attacks. I don't feel like it's good enough. Take them as a regiment. They've only got 12 attacks, but over 10 needing forced hit. Yeah, I'd take them as a regiment any day. Next we have the Centaur Brace Riders. Speed 8, melee 3+, defense 4+. Troop 6 attacks, nerve 11, 13, 105 points. Regiment 12 attacks, nerve 14, 16, 160 points. They've got Crush Strength 1, Pathfinder and Thunder Charge 1. I don't know if they can take Frenzied Otter because that's the Force of Nature main item, but perhaps that can be FAQ'd. They're not a bad unit. Defense is a bit low. Hit on 3s in close combat. Crush Strength 1 and Thunder Charge 1, which is always helpful. I take as a regiment because of the attacks and the nerve. Also gives you a few unlocks. Other than that, gotta watch out for them. You can't use them like heavy cavalry, even though these are kind of like heavy cavalry, unfortunately. Next we have the Centaur Bray Hunters. Speed 8, melee 4+, range 5+, defense 3+. Troop 6 attacks, nerve 11, 13, 105 points. Regiment 12 attacks, nerve 14, 16, 165 points. They've got Nimble, Pathfinder, Thunderous Charge 1, and short bows which are 18-inch range, steady aim. Maybe the tribal trappers, it's supposed to have steady aim? Don't know. It's not in the book, so don't know. Don't know if they can take Frenzied Otter. Probably can't. They're not a bad range unit per se. They need 5s to hit at range, but they can move and shoot because of steady aim, which is a big help. Speed 8, which means you've got technically a 24-inch range, which isn't bad. I'd have these as a regiment. Reason being is the hit on 4s in melee with Thunderous Charge 1, so at least you're still getting some close combat if push comes to shove. Next we have the Chariots. They are the Minotaur Chariots and they are regular. Now before I go on, this unit confuses me. The very name of it, Minotaur Chariots. Does it mean the Minotaurs are pulling it? Does it mean the Minotaurs are riding the chariots? Does it mean some creature that is called a Minotaur is pulling it or something? Maybe it's just me on that. Anyway, speed 6, melee 3+, defense 5+. Troop 10 attacks, nerve 12, 15, 170 points. Regiment 15 attacks, nerve 14, 17, 210 points. Horde 20 attacks, nerve 16, 19, 265 points. They've got Crush Strength 1, Fury, Strider, Thunderous Charge 2, Wild Charge D3. They might seem a bit slow for a chariot, being only speed 6, but I suppose you could think of it as the Minotaur standing on top. Why aren't they a unit of Minotaurs in general? I don't know, but I think you'll see why there isn't in a minute. Apart from the speed, they're pretty decent. Good attacks, good nerve, good hitting power, good defensive power. Minimum charge range of 11, maximum charge range of 15. A bit slow, that's kind of the downside. They've got Fury and Strider, which helps when wanting to make counter charges. And if you're going through terrain sort of things, which is always helpful. Even if you don't get the charge off, you've still got Crush Strength 1, which again is helpful. Next we have the Large Infantry. And one of the best units, as far as I'm concerned, in the game. Starting with the Guardian Brutes. Speed 6, melee 4+, defense 4+. Regiment 15 attacks, nerve 12, 14, 135 points. Horde 30 attacks, nerve 15, 17, 225 points. Crush Strength 1, Fury, Thunder Charge 1 and Wild Charge D3. They've got a minimum charge range of 11, maximum charge range of 15. It's those attacks. Most large infantry, you are looking at 18 attacks normally. To have nearly double that is ridiculous. I've played a few games of 3rd edition now and I've faced the Guardian Brutes twice. And they are just evil to face. If you face the herd, they are one of your priority targets. The amount of attacks they can pull off is just horrible to face, like I keep saying. And they aren't that expensive. 135 points for a regiment with 15 attacks, 225 points for a horde with 30. I mean, even if you don't get the charge off, they've still got Crushing Strength 1. And they got Fury, so even if they're wavering, they can still do counter charges. So, yeah. Shoot them. If all else fails, shoot them. Next we have the Lycans. Speed 9, melee 3+, defense 4+. Regiment 9 attacks, nerve 12-14, 155 points. Horde 18 attacks, nerve 15-17, 255 points. They've got Crush Strength 1, Nimble, Pathfinder and Regeneration 5+. Now these are your kind of outflanking unit. Yes, these have Crush Strength 1 and Regeneration, so they can take the charge face on if needs to. But because of their speed, they want to get around the sides, and with a speed of 9 and nimble, they will get there fairly quickly. Yes, they've got low defense, but they've got regeneration, which can mitigate that somewhat. And the nerve isn't bad either. They're not as good as the Guardian Brutes, as far as I'm concerned, but their speed should not be ignored. Next, we have the Forest Shamblers. Speed 6, melee 4+, defense 5+. Regiment 9 attacks, nerve -14, 120 points. Horde 18 attacks, nerve -17, 200 points. They've got Crush Strength 1, Pathfinder, Scout and Shambling. I've said in other videos that Shambling can be a double-edged sword. If you've got a wizard or a druid in this case that can cast Surge, Shambling is great. Otherwise, it's a bit of a dead weight against your feet. The Forest Shamblers aren't bad. They've got Pathfinder and Scout, which is always helpful. Nerve's not bad. The Fearless, which is good. Not bad points cost. Not bad attacks. Good defense. Not bad hitting power and close combat. They're alright. Next we have the Earth Elementals. Speed 5, melee 4+, defense 6+. Regiment 9 attacks, nerve -15, 130 points. Horde 18 attacks, nerve -18, 220 points. Brutal, Crush Strength 1, Pathfinder and Shambling. This is a powerful unit. I've said it before, anytime they get mentioned. They've got Brutal, Crush Strength 1, they've got Defense of 6. Shambling can be a problem unless you've got a wizard with Surge, which again turns against itself. They are still slow with only speed of 5, which can be a bit of a downside, but again, surging can mitigate that. The Guardian Brutes and the Earth Elementals are the best large infantry, though the Lycans are fast, so I can't say they're bad, because they're not. The Forest Shamblers aren't bad either, but considering what else is out there, the other three, the only thing they've got going for them is they've got Scout. And they're a bit cheaper than the Earth Elementals. And the Fearless, which the Guardian Brutes and the Lycans aren't. So, yeah, there is a point, but compared to the other three, I feel they are the weaker of the four. Next we have the Swarm, and they are irregular. Speed 6, melee 5+, defense 2+. Regiment 12 attacks, nerve 9-11, 80 points. Horde 24 attacks, nerve 12-14, 130 points. They've got Fly, Nimble, Pathfinder and Vicious in melee. They're not bad. I'd take them as a Horde. 24 attacks, even hitting on 5. They've got Vicious, which does help. They can fly, which again helps a lot. And Nimble is always helpful. I don't think... I think you can give them... No, you can't give them magic item, can you? Hang on a minute. Yes, you can give swarms magical artifacts, so you could give them the item which means they always hit enemies on 4+. That's only 10 points, by the way, so that's not that expensive, I don't think. Oh no, sorry, it's 20 points. so that would make it 150 points. That's still not bad. That's might be something to think about on these sort of things, but it's not something I'd go crazy for. Hitting on 5s with a defence of 2, they're not going to last long. You need to make the most of them and just hit the enemy straight on, pepper them with attacks, and then if they survive, keep peppering enemies. Or maybe do a double charge. I think they'd be best charging with something else, so they can support something with giving their attacks off. I think that's what they're best for. Next we have the monsters, and the only one. The Beast of Nature. Speed 7, melee 3+, defense 5+. 5 attacks, nerve 15, 17, not dash anything. 150 points. Crush strength 2, pathfinder and vicious. Gain the range attack Noxious Mist, which is 12-inch range, 10 attacks, hitting on 4s plus, steady aim, for 15 points. Not bad upgrade. Upgrade with wings, increasing speed to 10 and gaining flying nimble for 40 points. A bit expensive, but gaining flying nimble ain't a bad thing. And having speed 10, again, not a bad thing. Increase attacks to 7 for 15 points. A little bit expensive, but over the attack of 5, which is normally standard unfortunately, so maybe. The ranged attack, what I'd like to do is have a mix of 2 of the upgrades. All 3 isn't bad, it doesn't make it that expensive, but having the 2 of the upgrade and maybe having a couple of Beasts of Nature with the different combinations of upgrades means you're not spending too many points where you could spend them on magic items, or maybe have a couple, 1 or 2 extra units depending on what you want, sort of thing. I mean, you've got wings, so you could have it for outflanking purposes. You could have it to do a bit of peppering with shooting. Or I'd always have the one that increases attacks no matter what you do. It just feels like it really should have more attacks from the start. But hits on 3 in close combat. Speed 7 at standard. Defense 5. It's not bad. It's not bad. Next we have the Titan. There's only one. It is Greater Earth Elemental. Speed 6, melee 4+, defense 6+. 12 attacks, nerve, dash 19, 230 points. It's got brutal, crush strength 3, shambling and strider. Love the Greater Earth Elemental. It is an amazing Titan. Good defense, good attacks, good nerve, good attacking capabilities, brutal, crush strength 3, strider as well. Only downside is it's a bit slow and it's got shambling, which, like I've said, if you've got a druid with surge, can turn it on the head and be a bit of an upside. Model looks nice as well. If you want to get the Greater Earth Elemental model, it's not that expensive either points wise. 230 points for what you get is absolutely a bargain. Every army that can take a Greater Earth Elemental needs at least 1. No questions asked. Next we have the heroes. Starting with the Tribal Tracker, Hero Infantry. Speed 6, melee 4+, range 4+, defense 4+, nearly all the 4s. 4 attacks, nerve 10, 12, 80 points. Individual, inspiring, tracker only, pathfinder, scout, stealthy, short bow which is 18-inch range, piercing 1. Upgrade with a saber-tooth hunting cat for 10 points. Considering what it is, I won't bother with upgrade. You've got piercing on the short bow. Shame you haven't got steady aim, but oh well. Hitting him for your 4s if you're shooting, so -1 when you move. It is what it is, I suppose. Shame he hasn't got a normal bow, which is a bit longer range, but hey ho. At least it got piercing on it. 80 points for 4 shots of piercing. It's not bad. It's not bad for demo games, but if you're taking it seriously, I won't bother with the Tribal Tracker in normal circumstances. Next we have the Great Chieftain, Hero Infantry. Speed 6, melee 3+, defense 5+. 5 attacks, nerve 12, 14, 110 points. Crush strength 1, individual, inspiring, mighty, pathfinder, thunderous charge 1. Can take a ranged attack, short bow, which is 18-inch range, range 4 for 15 points. Saber-toothed hunting cat for 10 points. Maybe take the second and first one, maybe, even though you've not got piercing. Nah. It's not a bad hero. It's... Oh, the problem is its attacks are a bit low. There are better heroes to take, and for that points cost, yeah, you can find a better use for 110 points. Next we have the Great Chieftain on Miniature Chariot. Speed 6, melee 3+, defense 5+. 5 attacks, nerve 13, 16, 140 points. Crush strength 1, fury, inspiring, nimble, strider, thunderous charge 2, wild charge D3. Gain the range attacks short bow, 18-inch range, range 4+, for 15 points. Probably, again, still probably not. It's only 34 points. You're getting better nerve, you're getting better thunderous charge, you're getting wild charge, you're getting fury, you're getting nimble as well for that extra 30 points, and strider as well. And you can get outflanking, rear and flanking charges as well. It's not bad. It's not bad for what it can do. A little bit slow for me, but oh well. Next we have the Lycan Alpha Hero Light Infantry. Speed 9, melee 3+, defense 5+. 5 attacks, nerve 13, 15, 165 points. Crush strength 2, inspiring, lycanthrope only, nimble, pathfinder, regeneration 5+. Again, it's not bad at all, 165 points. A little bit expensive, but think about it. Defense 5, hitting on 3+. Crush strength 2, speed of 9. Regeneration, inspiring on lycanthrope. So if you take a lot of units of werewolves, really is a good thing. I won't go heavy on them, but considering what it is, it's not a bad choice. It's very fast. It's very fast. Next we have the Centaur Chief Hero Cavalry. Speed 8, melee 3+, defense 4+. 4 attacks, nerve 11, 13, 110 points. Crush strength 2, individual, inspiring centaur only, mighty, pathfinder. Gain the wild attack, ranged attack, short bow, 18-inch range, 4+, for 10 points. Saber-toothed hunting cat for 10 points. Maybe. I like the Centaur Chief. I'm not going to lie. It's fast. And I used to like giving it the... I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically the holy hand grenade. Throw one of them and do D6 wounds. It was quite funny. Don't go mad on them. But like an alpha, I can honestly see the point. And like the Centaur Great Chieftain on Minotaur Chariot, I can see the point of that as well. Just don't go mad with them. Just don't go mad with them. Next we have the Druid. Hero Infantry, Spellcaster rank 1. Speed 5, melee 5+, defense 4+. 1 attack, nerve 10, 12, 65 points. Individual, inspiring, pathfinder. It's got a heal 2. Mount on a forest steed, increased speed to 9 and change into hero cavalry for 25 points. Bane Chant 2 for 20 points. Lightning Bolt 2 for 10 points. Surge 4 for 10 points. Wind Blasts 4 for 15 points. Bane Chant 2 is a good possibility. Surge 4 is a no-brainer. Always go for that. Wind Blast, maybe. Lightning Bolt 2, no, absolutely not. Mount on a forest steed, maybe actually. Thing with it is a druid is inspiring. It's essentially this arm is cheap inspiring, except this cheap inspiring can actually do something. Even if you just leave it with heal 2, at least you've got inspiring with a bit of cheap healing. But I'd give it at least either Bane Chant or Surge if I were taking the Druid, if it were me. Next we have the Glade Walker Druid. Hero Heavy Infantry, Spellcaster rank 2. Speed 5, melee 5+, defense 4+. 1 attack, nerve 12, 14, 90 points. Individual, inspiring and pathfinder. It's got heal 4 to start with. Mount on a Forest Steed, increasing speed to 9 and changing to Hero Cavalry for 25 points. Fireball 8 for 25 points, Hex 3 for 15 points, Surge 8 for 30 points, all 3 for Replace as Heal, and Blizzard 2 for 20 points. You can only have one Blizzard in your army. The Surge is a good option, even if you add it as well as the Heal. That makes it 120 points. Slightly expensive, but it is what it is. Again, it's inspiring, and the Nerve isn't bad actually for a wizardy hero. Nerve isn't bad at all. Heal 4 is respectable, and Surge 8. If you've got a load of Forest Shamblers, Earth Elementals, or Greater Earth Elementals, that can really get you going. Hex, maybe. Blizzard, it's an upgrade you might think is worth it. Maybe. That's a maybe. And the Fireball, I'd say no myself. It's Fireball 8, which is good. But there are better to spend your 25 points on. For 5 points more, you might as well spend it on Surge 8. You might as well. It does a bit more for your buck, I think. Next we have the Tree Herder. Hero Monster, Spellcaster rank 0. Speed 6, melee 3+, defense 6+. 9 attacks, nerve, dash 18, 260 points, sorry. Crush strength 3, inspiring, Pathfinder, Radiance of Life, Scout and Strider. And it's got Surge 8. Now, take what I said about the Gladewalker Druid and multiply this by 10. It's basically doing what the Gladewalker Druid, I mean, it's twice the points of a Gladewalker Druid, and it's 3 times as effective. It's good in close combat, it's got Surge, so if you don't get close combat with it, at least you're living bold as will. Oh, I'm a bit slow. Oi, Earth Elemental. Charge that. Defense 6, 9 attacks, hitting on 3s with Crush Strength 3. Radiance of Life, so you're getting a little bit of healing as well with a nerve of dash 18. Yeah, you could combo this up with the Greater Earth Elemental, have the Greater Earth Elemental charging first and then have this charging second, because when you've got the Surge off, it will mean the Greater Earth Elemental is charging first. And by God, it is good. Finally, we have the Forest Warden, Hero Large Infantry, Spellcaster rank 0. Speed 6, melee 3+, defense 5+. 3 attacks, nerve 11, 13, 90 points. Crush strength 2, nimble, Pathfinder and Scout. It's got Surge 4. So this is like the Druid or Gladewalker Druid, but well, as expensive as the Gladewalker Druid actually. Comes with Surge 4, not Heal 4. And it's not inspiring, but it can hit a little bit better in close combat. Nerve isn't as good as the Gladewalker Druid, strangely enough. But oh well. You've got Surge 4. It's a cheap hero. If you want a lot of Surges off going all over the place, maybe take a load of Forest Wardens. But for an extra 30 points, you might as well take a Gladewalker Druid with Surge 8. Or for 15 points cheaper, go for a normal Druid with Surge, because you've got the the normal Druid having Heal 2 as well as Surge for an inspiring. I'm sure there's a point to the Forest Warden. I just haven't found it yet. So next we have the unique units. There's only one, and it is Moonfang. Strange enough, the aspect of the Green Lady isn't on here, but oh well. Yeah, Moonfang, Hero, Large Infantry. Speed 9, melee 3+, defense 5+. 6 attacks, nerve 14, 16, 210 points. Crush strength 2, inspiring, nimble, Pathfinder, regeneration 4+, vicious in melee, primal savagery. Friendly core units that are engaged with the same enemy unit as Moonfang have vicious in melee. Not bad. Reroll 1s when wounding, which can't complain about. It's nice. Hits of 3s in close combat, defense of 5, crush strength 2, speed of 9, regeneration 4+, which is great. Inspiring to all, which again is great. 6 attacks, not bad. Nerve isn't bad either. Lycan Alpha is 45 points cheaper. You've got 1 less attack, bit less nerve. Regeneration isn't as good. The Inspiring only works for Lycans. You haven't got Vicious, and you can't give Vicious to anyone else. So, yeah, I think it's worth the points cost. I like Moonfang. I like Moonfang a lot. You could use Moonfang for outflanking purposes like other Lycans. That'd be a good use for him. The thing about them is that they're a bit squishy defence-wise. They're not the worst defence-wise, they're not horrible. Most of them you are looking at defence 4. However, when going against a lot of shooting armies, they are going to struggle a little bit. However, they have got a lot of wild charge on them, and they have got a lot of thunderous charge. They've also got a fair number of attacks, such as the Guardian Brutes and the Longhorns, which are just disgusting. They have also got some good support heroes in terms of the Druid and Gladewalker Druid. I suppose you could count the Tribal Tracker as a support hero, just peppering enemies with shooting. They are a straightforward defensive force. Their shooting is not great either. Yes, they've got some good spellcasting, and yes, they have got shooting in terms of the trappers, but it's not great. They are just a straightforward battering ram. Hit the enemy and hit the enemy really hard. That is their main focus. Get in there and get in there as quick as possible. And they have a lot of units to do it. I mean, they've even got some good outflanking with the Gur Panthers, the Swarms to an extent, and the Lycans. The Lycans are a really good outflanking unit. So yeah, that's it for this army. Goodbye for now.